Look at this cuteness. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Where's your mama? Oh, she's moving her babies. There's Mama. It just poured rain and she came back to get the babies. Is that the cutest thing you ever did see? She just came running down the hill. Hey everybody, I was just out here planting a few more trees. Imagine that. And checking up on things. And I just wanted to remind everyone about lawns. And if you're thinking about having a lawn, plant clover. At this time of year, it's such an awesome food source for so many pollinators. I have a bunch of honeybees and bombus or bumblebees and native solitary bees and a little tilly bee here right now. I have a mix actually of red or purple clover and white clover here. And what I do, oh, that's gross, I'm sweating, so she's looking at my sweat. And what I do is once the kind of the fast growing grass season is over, I just leave it and I let it go to flower and then seed, and then it self seeds. And right now, it's so awesome out here because there's so many pollinators just humming away. It's amazing. So if you have the capacity and you no longer want to mow your lawn incessantly over the summer, plant clover. It's so beautiful. Let me just show you. So this whole area is clover. It's in our orchard, and it did take me a while to get it established, and no, it's not perfect, but it is amazing at this time of year. The chickens love it, the pollinators love it, the deer love it. So that is one challenge we've been having. The deer have been coming right up into this area, which is literally right outside our house, and eating the apple trees, eating the clover. They ate all of the leaves off my elderberry and some serviceberry that I planted out here just recently. But honestly, they get to eat too. So yeah, I'm just digging this right now, big time. I just want to sit. I have been sitting and watching, especially the honeybees. My dad was a beekeeper, and so I love seeing honeybees. We're not there yet. It's just that added extra amount of work every year. I know what it takes to be a good beekeeper. I know a lot of people think it's hands off, and it is for the most part, but it does require a lot of work. And up here, especially because of the bears, we would have to install some kind of, electric fencing or bear protection, or I don't know what, put it up on the roof. Who knows? But yeah, this is pretty awesome right now. This is one of the other challenges I have out here in the orchard, or really anywhere we plant trees close to where the chickens are. They dig up the tree wells. I guess I could say they're part of my pest control system, but they're actually more of a menace than anything. I just planted this little red bud here, and I fully expect it to be dug up by the end of the week. Survival of the fittest. Right, Hugh? Anyways, I gotta show you guys something else. I've been out here working hard, feeling like I deserve a little treat, and there is a little treat waiting for me. Look what time of year it is, you guys. Wild strawberry time of year. So good. The real strawberries. Here she comes. Here she comes. Tulip is a forager. Aren't you? You a forager? Did you already get into these? Holy moly. Yeah, this is awesome. Look at all these. Look at that. Look at those. I think Tulip's been in here this morning. She won't eat them if they're not ripe. So that's one thing I got going for me. So good.
Nice milk snake. What a beauty. Okay, buddy. Coming in with the truck.
Good morning. I don't have breakfast yet. Good morning. Don't peck me. I feel like you're... What? Good morning, everyone. Oh, what a morning. Happy solstice. Happy first day of summer. It is such a gorgeous morning. So quiet out here. Birds are singing. It's going to be a hot one today. But before we head out on our journey or on our adventure, I just wanted to give you a really quick garden tour. I have to admit, I haven't been as attentive to the garden this year because we are going away, but we are having house sitters. So they're coming tonight. We're going to meet them for the first time, and I will ask if I can introduce you to them. They seem to be a wonderful couple, and I'm excited to have them stay and experience our place here. But let's just take a quick look. I'm actually out here watering right now because we haven't had rain for about 2 weeks. I think there's rain in the forecast for this weekend. So today and tomorrow I have to focus on watering the garden, the trees, and everything really well before we get going. This is going to be a speed tour. But, you know, when I was thinking about not growing a garden, I think how silly that was now. And I would probably never say that again because it's always worth putting a couple of seeds in the ground. Like, we have been eating salad greens now for a couple of weeks, and it has just been super amazing. And there's nothing more to that than just throwing some seeds in the ground. Like, you don't even have to start planting doors if you don't want. So anyways, here we go. Let's have a quick look at what's shaking. All right, so here are the onions that my friend Joanna gave me, some kale, and of course rhubarb. I haven't made a ton of rhubarb stuff this year, but the stuff that I have made was delicious. We made a nice rhubarb crumble. There is a little bit of slug damage on the kale, but holding the mulch away until a lot later this year really made a big difference. So we do have slugs, but not too bad. And I happily eat leaves that look like that. I really don't care. You can wash the slugs off. Probably these uncovered ones are going to struggle with cabbage looper, but that's okay. Our strawberries have grown out into the main garden, but we are having strawberries right now, which are amazing. We have a ton of volunteer, I think it's butter crunch lettuce this year. So that's been really nice. If I had known we were going to have all that, I probably wouldn't have needed to plant lettuce. Here are all of my brassicas. I got a row cover on those a couple of weeks, and you can see through here, like they are growing very nicely. Not a ton of pest pressure, which is amazing. The irrigation is in, so that makes a big difference, I think. So these are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and then down here I've got kohlrabi, so hopefully our house sitters will enjoy the kohlrabi, but those are growing gangbusters. They're giving her. The beans that I planted got damaged a little bit by slugs. I'll show you the other side. So these are the purple potted, so they're going to be fine. They're starting to take off, no problem. These ones, on the other hand, these are the Trail of Tears. I might reseed actually here just for a second crop. On this side, we have more kale. You can see the tent is drooping because of the dew, so I might just tighten that up. There are actually 2 sunflowers under here that I'm going to release. I'm just going to pull this cover off this end and leave it on the end with the cabbages. So here are all the cabbages, and they are doing very well. Here's my other rhubarb that I transplanted this spring, and then all of my lettuce. The at the end, the spinach has already bolted. I've been using that for my smoothies and it's been delicious. But like mornings like this make growing a garden, it's just something. It's so beautiful. Like, look at those lettuce. It's so appealing to the eye when you fill a plate. And I make this homemade dressing. I should actually make a little video for that because I think people would really like it. Can't really remember. I think I actually made it up. But anyways, very tasty. I've got some peas trellising over there. I just tossed those in. All of my cilantro, look at it. It's starting to bolt. That's one of the downsides of cilantro. It bolts really quick. But my herb garden is doing really well. So they'll be able to eat out of there. So tomatoes are doing very well. Brian started to trim and stake them. So cut off the lower leaves closest to the ground and started to tie them up. I'll show you on the other side. Some volunteer sunflowers, which we always leave because we love the sunflowers, especially in the fall. We have a ton of borage coming up this year, which is going to be really pretty, leaving that for the pollinators. More volunteer lettuce. And then here is the other row of tomatoes, and you can see here Brian has started to tie them up. So he is Captain Tomato Tie. He does a really good job at suckering. I can see some suckers here that, not that he missed, because I have a hard time believing that he missed, but if you want to see how to sucker tomatoes, here's the main stem. Here is the lateral, and then this little one growing up in between, you just snap off, and that sends the energy. It stops the energy from growing there into, here we go, some tomato flowers, into growth of the plant. I'll probably come out here tonight and to work on this and keep tying them up, especially when it's hot. That's when everything takes off. Here in this bed here, we have some arugula, some more salad, and at the end, leftover kale. So these plants are doing really well. I've been getting kale for my smoothies from here, and actually I'm going to harvest some of this and toss it in the freezer before we go. So I have some, and I'm actually going to ask the house sitters if they'll do the same. But this should be still in good shape when we get back. Some more peas, and I did seed. So over here, you can see these got hit pretty hard. These were the cranberry beans, so I'm going to toss some more of those in. My peppers. So these were the peppers I purchased, and they aren't doing very well. However, the plants don't look great, but there are actually some tiny little peppers growing. So I'm leaving them. I got the kind of don't care attitude this year. So we're going to see what happens. Typically it takes a long time for peppers to take off because they like the heat, but they did not transplant well. And I think that might've been because there were 3 plants per tiny little, it was like a 3-inch or 4-inch pot, and I ripped them apart. So I ripped all the roots. And so I think that's part of the problem. Here are, I like seeded heavy, some more sunflowers. So these are all sunflowers that I'm going to have to thin before we go. Oh, there's a little hummingbird that just landed right here. So cute. So some more beans, and then of course sunflowers that I didn't have the heart to pull. So that's going to be a burst of color, in the fall. More beans. Gonna have lots of beans this year. This is like all beans, and actually that far row I have to reseed. I'm gonna have to go back on the video that I made because I can't remember which variety I sowed in there. I did plant some zinnias along here, and they have germinated, so hopefully some of those make it. And then these are purple potted, so more beans. There's a borage plant that I'm gonna leave, a couple of them. But the rest of the bed is unplanted, as is that bed. Last year we had squash and sunflowers, so there's a volunteer sunflower coming up. The garlic is looking very good. The scapes are just starting, so we are just gonna miss having scapes. And like, look at all that volunteer lettuce. It's awesome. And then more volunteer lettuce. Here's some potatoes that I missed in the harvest, so they're the gift that keeps on giving. Here is the herb garden from the front. That cilantro just basically choked everything out, but There's some parsley. That was calendula that I started from seed a friend gave me. Oh shoot, I gotta pinch the basil. Hang on, here we go. Gotta pick the flowers off the basil. Here's the strawberries. Look at this beauty. The chickens were eyeing this up outside the fence. I compost sunflowers. I had it on my list to like do some compost management, but I don't have the heart because there's beautiful sunflowers in it. Here we go. Here's a volunteer borage growing out of the side of one of my compost bins, and just look. That's free. Totally free and like amazing. Look at the flower buds that this sucker's gonna have. I woke up this morning and kind of got a heart pang. Like this sunflower, I'll be here for that. But I'm gonna miss a lot of this. I don't like that. Okay, here's the showstopper. So here are the hollyhocks I planted this year. So, you know, right, those little ones down there. They have a little bit of pest damage, but nothing to write home about. Look at this giant. These are the ones from our friend Molly, as they all are, except for the black that I ordered. But the flowers on these hollyhocks, like, I'm not even kidding. So this one is not as big. There are my new ones. Look at this plant. Look at all the flowers that there are going to be. Okay, just as a reference, the plant itself, like I'm 5'6". The plant itself is like 5 feet tall, and then the flower stalks are growing up. So here's kind of one of the flower stalks, but there are so many, and there's a good chance that I am going to miss a lot of these flowers. I think last year they bloomed pretty late in the summer, but I think because they're established now, they're going to bloom a lot earlier. But I am having such heart pangs because I don't want to miss them. Oh, I see the little wren mom. So this little birdhouse. My little wren is back. Here she goes. She's coming in. She wants to feed. It's full of babies. She's waiting to come in. Aw. The other night, Brian and I were out here, and the tree swallow box up there, they fledged, and there were like 6 babies. It was unbelievable. So they were all over all those tree limbs, and it was just, I freaking love this time of year. It was just so heartwarming to know that all of the work that we've done installing kind of some of this vertical structure, because this all used to be flat land, it just was a pasture, has really brought in a lot of different species of birds and animals and all that cool stuff. It's just wicked to see how something that seems pretty insignificant at the time can really draw in a greater diversity of animals and wildlife. Like the insects that these birds are eating are just unbelievable. Like they're constantly in motion, feeding their young. So anyways, I'm reflective this morning of all of the good things. It can be really easy to get bogged down with just life in general and, you know, stresses and pressures. But if you have those moments, just go outside. Like, this is just such a magical time. And I'm so grateful to have this place and these plants and friends that share seeds with me, and tips and advice and kind of encourage me along, because I'm getting weepy. It's something. Like, oh, these plants are just something. I'm going to leave special instructions for them to send me pictures of my chicks as they grow, the chickens, and these flowers, because they're going to be stunners. They are going to be stunners. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me this morning in the garden for my probably last garden tour before we head west. I'll bring you along after the trip to show you what this looks like upon our return. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.